Hey everybody, this is Dr. J, Professor Spike, and Kamal, streaming live from Long Island, New York. As we were discussing the Fed, the PCE report tomorrow, and its possible effect on the markets. The futures are up, guys, even though we had a terrible day today. Do you think there's anticipation that we'll get a tamer than expected PCE report tomorrow, personal spending and consumption
I don't think so.
for August?
For August, no, I don't think so.
You think
No taming anyway. It's just going to look like good news, and so they're going to take it as such, and then the Fed's going to say, "Well,
Well, if there's any excuse to rally, you realize that way we've been knocked down. So if that number is below expectation, in tomorrow's PCE report, I think we could get a big rally.
well, it depends on whether or not Powell opens his mouth or not. If he doesn't open his mouth afterwards, maybe you'll be all right."
Well, it seems like there's a lot of echoes besides Powell. James Bullard is echoing, higher for longer, that kind of talk. I don't think the Fed likes that kind of talk.
It's right. It's like, I don't want to hear. I didn't like hearing that. It's like, well, I didn't like saying it.
But I think economists and you, Steve, Professor Spike, all agree that it's the job number, the job wage inflation that has to be put control before the Fed can take its foot off the brake.
I'm just thinking that.
I'm talking double talk before the Fed could take their foot off the accelerator.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
I believe.
Are they driving fast backwards?
I agree with you, but I still believe that the Russian-Ukrainian war has a significant impact on the global markets, and I believe that also I think I read somewhere that tomorrow Putin is planning to annex a bunch of Ukrainian territories into Russia.
It's going to
absorb. What does that mean, annex? I declare Kiev.
He said they voted, so they're part of the country now. So he's just going to move his troops in and say, "This is our land."
Yeah, and that's going to be
good luck to him.
Well, he could try it anyway.
Well, he did with the Crimea.
He did it with Crimea, I know, and then, but I don't think that's a mistake that
Ukraine is not Crimea. Ukraine has a real army and real weapons.
Now they do, yeah.
Well, so he can't just say, "I declare this part of Russia," and that's it.
Well, nobody said what they're saying now in terms of saying that this was all bunk.
I don't want to talk about the pressing things like the war anymore.
No, but Mal happens to be right. This is a cloud that's looming over the market.
Absolutely, and I believe the next one, and I'm talking here, the big stuff. The next one is Russia and Taiwan. That's the next. This is just a matter of time. It's coming down.
Russia's going to annex Taiwan before China does. Is that what you're saying?
You're talking about China.
China and Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yes, China and Taiwan is another sort of Damocles hanging over our heads.
Yeah, most likely next year as well. That's going to be another.
Maybe it depends on whether Putin is successful or not. With Ukraine.
I partially agree. Yes, I do agree with that.
I think she thinks she's smarter than Putin.
All we did was, sit by and watch them take over. Then they'll be encouraged. But if he fails, Putin, then they're not going to be discouraged, I think.
Yeah.
Why are we talking politics and wars?
Yeah, let's talk stocks. Let's go back to that.
What about the hurricane?
Hey, let's talk about something happy
before we talk about something happy, what about the hurricane in Florida?
The Floridians are playing in the rainwater.
Is that going to have a negative effect on the market? Supply problems, or?
I think temporarily. Not. This is not a permanent thing.
So this is not a Katrina.
No, things will go back to normal within a few days, a week.
Yeah, I think it's not a Katrina.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk about great for author.
Linus agrees with you on the war, by the way. And he's got a good suggestion. Talk about great wealth for all. I don't know if it means health or wealth.
Yeah, I think it means health because
Both are good.
we're
Indubitably is here from sunny Dallas, Texas.
78 and sunny.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the charts while I still have the energy. I want to talk about I know that IKT, which is really inhibit kinase pharmaceuticals or whatever they're called. That one's their trial is up and running now at phase 2, a big one for Parkinson's, early stage Parkinson's, and apparently they're in some really nice sites like Mount Sinai in New York, some prime hospitals. So that alone tells me this trial is for real. And I want to look at the chart of IKT later in the show. But first, let's start with spiders, right?
Sure.
I got to share screen. Spiders it is. I mean, yesterday I came on and I said we put in a double bottom. We're gonna go up another 20 points easy.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, right?
Didn't happen, did it?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll still happen, but it didn't happen yet. Gee, S&P. Well, S&P 2% down, 1.5% down. The NASDAQ got slammed the worst, 3%. Not a fun day, as reflected by my bank account or portfolio, or whatever you call it. TNX, the 10-year was up slightly, but I think during the day it was about 4. Didn't it hit 4?
4.2%.
Not today, but earlier in the week it hit 4, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
It was playing.
You can still get. I think you can still get 4 on the 5-year. There was the 5-year Treasury was a disaster. The auction. So for 4%,
financial planning
they
is
can't
looking
give
beyond
it away for 4% for whatever reason. I don't know the reason, but all right. Let's take a look at SPY. Only down 2%. It had been down lower, if that's any consolation. It hit today 359.70. So we closed 3 points higher than the low. That's meaningful, by the way. All right, and we did put in a lower low than Tuesday, however, which we don't like.
And the last low.
It does look very much like it wants to go to that 349 level that we've talked about over and over again. Let's draw that in. Of course, before it gets there, I would like to see it make a little mini run to like 420, which would be the 50-day, 200-day? No, the 50-day. No, I'm in the weekly. That's getting me all mixed up. I'd stay in the middle. Let's stay in the weekly for now. I don't know why I switched to weekly. I must have had a reason.
Well, you want to get longer term perspective here.
I want to draw in the 490 level. The 349 level. I'm really not speaking correctly today. I don't know why. The words are coming out wrong. All right, so I better not try that tongue twister. 3 smart fellows, they felt smart. You know that one?
Yes, I've said that wrong on purpose.
Yeah, that's easy to say wrong. The way I'm talking today, that would I better not say that one two times fast or whatever. So on the weekly, this looks like an interesting pivot point right in here.
Just right Just
This
at the
is
peak
the number
before
that everybody's talking about this number, right? All the gurus are predicting 320. Mike Wilson, all of them.
really?
Yeah, Mike Wilson says minimum paying 320.
Wow.
I believe it's also a fib number, 61.8 retrace, maybe, off from the let's do the fib chart. I always draw it backwards, but so what? As long as it's a fib number.
Right. We're talking about from the lows of COVID.
Yeah. No, not from the lows of COVID. Yeah, from the lows of COVID. Okay, 320 is a 61.8% retrace, one direction or the other.
Yeah, so it seems.
Exactly, right? And it also coincides with a key pivot point that we put in
That's exactly where you drew your line.
when is that pivot point? Back in 9/21, 2020.
Yeah, the beginning of the end.
Yeah, the March lows came out to be 218 and a quarter on SPY. I didn't draw it absolutely perfect, but pretty close. I mean, guess I could move it a little. That looks better. So the line is absolutely perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's an ugly picture.
It's an ugly picture, but
It's a beautiful picture, but it's a sad picture.
It gives a lot of technical reasons why Mike Wilson and others could be right about 320. It's exactly the fib 61.8 retrace, and it's also a very key pivot level of 921. So there's at least two reasons, technical reasons. And you can argue, well, with earnings contraction and so on, it makes sense as well from the fundamental point of view. So there's many reasons to look towards this 320 number, but I'm a little more optimistic. I'm looking towards this 50% retrace.
50% retrace, sure.
Right in there. Let me draw a horizontal line just to highlight it. Here's the 50, right in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 350, 349 and a half, I think, something like that. Let's call it 350. So 350 is almost, it's only 12-point drop. It's nothing. It's less than 4%, 3.5% from here. So that's easily achievable. We almost achieved it today. I thought for a moment we would achieve it. But what we did achieve today is the 200 on the weekly.
There's always tomorrow.
Yeah, but you see the 200 held.
Yeah.
The 200 on the weekly held today.
4-year average.
I somehow think we might get a surprise update tomorrow. Maybe.
Now, would you sell into the update or short?
That's what the gurus are saying. You take every rally as a selling opportunity.
Right. So instead of selling for very low, you sell for very low.
Yeah. Or as an opportunity to buy some put options, make money on the put options at least. Well, more likely, if you do that, you'll pick the bottom and you'll lose money on the put options. So, I don't like to play with options too much. I made a little bit money shorting a couple of stocks with options, but I was out in 2 days. I don't have the stomach for it.
Right.
The ones the stocks that everybody seems to like in this downtrend lately is the mega caps, the Apples, the the Amazons, the Metas of the world. So I think we should take a look at those charts, but not before we look at IKT.
Yeah. Maybe we should even mention Biogen.
IKT looks like they're for real. I like this sustained run from early May, from late May, May 20th, when it was 60 pennies. It went as high as $1.21 and backed off to where we're trading today at 86 pennies. After hours, 82 pennies. The last time I traded this, I bought it at exactly 83 pennies, sold it at 99 pennies. So at least for a swing, it's getting to look pretty attractive. I think these lows could hold. I'm not saying they definitely will because nothing is definite in this market. These lows down here at about 82.77, just where it is after hours, you see. I think that should hold. So what I'm thinking is swing it from where it is now or buy it in after hours and swing it to 99 cents again. If we get any kind of rally, I think it'll make it. So you could play around with stuff like that. This opinion is strictly my own, right, and not investment advice. All of our opinions are strictly our own, not investment advice. And you should
We all have one, and they all stink.
Check with an advisor before acting, and do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. All right. So what did I want to look at? I wanted to look at. I'm bullish this short term and long term. I want to look at. Of course, I'm bullish a lot of neurodegenerative plays. Look at the move Prothena had yesterday. I said yesterday I thought it would continue up on its run, maybe pull back halfway and then continue to run. I'm just curious to see what it did quickly, Prothena. PRTA, another neurodegenerative play. What the hell did it do today?
There's something of a jump. Was that 2 days ago or yesterday?
Let me go into the daily.
Oh.
It might help.
Still a jump a couple days ago.
Yeah. So it did back down a little bit. I thought it would back down more. I said about half, my halfway down the green candle, green body. It made it about a third of the way down, and then did finish up on the day. So I wasn't far off in my thinking on this one. My thinking on this one is it's probably got more to go. I think its primary drug right now, I think, is an ALS drug. Not sure. I don't really follow it. Okay.
Do you think this is sympathy with Biogen, or that they're totally unrelated?
I think it was one of those stocks that was in sympathy with Biogen, yes. I think so. Because I couldn't find any other news on it.
Gotcha. What about our other favorites, like Anovis and Aurinia?
AVXL looked like it would go to 12. It had a nice pop yesterday, but it didn't. I think it was down.
Yeah, no, Sava didn't follow it up. It only followed it up for maybe a minute and a half.
Yeah, so it actually had an ugly candle today.
Look at that.
Reversing yesterday's. Totally reversing it. Ugly. Longeveron, I said I wouldn't buy it even with the contagion. The chart was just too ugly yesterday even. So I didn't like it yesterday. I don't like it today. But that doesn't mean I don't like it long term. I think this is a great company with great prospects. But short term, you can't, according to the chart, you can't really touch it. Not short term. Sava was only down a little today. That's not much. This is the one that has killed me and everyone else.
Oh boy.
I blame it on my buying a new iPhone Max Pro. Since then, Apple has gone straight down.
I think the iPhone 14 is not as advanced as many people thought it would be.
I'm not disappointed with it, but what the tip off was when I spoke to the salesman. He told me you can't buy a regular iPhone 14, and they're no good. They're not as good as my old iPhone 10. I said, what? He said, yeah, you got to buy the Pro. So I bought the Pro. But imagine that the regular one is a piece of garbage. It was what the Verizon was telling me.
You got the luxury one.
I got the luxury one. And it's gone. This chart, let me tell you, this chart is scary.
This doesn't usually happen when a new item is on sale.
It's really, really scary. Really scary chart on Apple. I happen to be scared just from this chart. I mean, it's just god awful. I don't know where the bottom is, but probably a lot lower than where it is now. Probably it looks to me like if there's further weakness in the market, this is going to retest lows. And that's painful. All the way down to 130.
And I thought I was safe with Apple and Amazon and Google.
Well, everyone's saying, all the gurus on Wall Street, buy the mega caps, buy the mega tech, buy the big tech, buy Amazon, Apple, Meta. What else? What NVIDIA? Those are the names all the gurus are telling people to buy.
I mean, Kathy
Well,
Woods.
that's what I've been doing, and I've been losing. So I don't know.
And Kathy Wood says, don't buy them. Buy the super growth potential stocks that don't make a dime yet. And every guru on Wall Street says that's exactly the wrong thing to buy. So no one's agreed. She's a maverick. She stands alone. I wish I wouldn't say that. I think Professor Omar is into pure growth as well. So the D-dogs of the world.
Well, yeah, there will definitely be dogs that die by December.
Yeah, D-dog. That's one of Professor Omar's favorites. I'll just quickly put it up. So Apple is scary. It looks to me like it could go all the way down and retest the lows along with the S&P. Not retesting the lows, but let's see. These are the June lows.
Yeah.
We already did that on the S&P. So Apple's actually relatively outperforming the S&P. The S&P broke the June lows. Apple did not. So I see no reason why Apple doesn't continue to 128 unless the market decides to turn around.
Well, that's something news.
Apple's still an outperformer, but despite the horrible recent form. Amazon, everybody loves Amazon.
Yeah, well, there's no wrong time to buy Amazon.
Yeah,
I would tend to believe it now. At 114, it's got to be a bargain.
Yeah. You would think, right?
Sure.
What have we here? Do we have a perfect trend line? Near perfect, right?
Yeah.
Makes you want to buy Amazon because the trend line says we're at trend line support pretty much.
It does. AWS is not going away.
And they're doing well with just about all segments of their businesses doing well. Consumer has not gone away yet. They got 2 Prime days coming up in October, right?
Right.
And they've got.
We got to see. Is Whole Foods going to do anything?
I don't know. They need. Do you want them to compete with Walmart with lower end?
Well, they already are competing with Walmart and beating them.
In groceries, I don't think so.
Not in groceries because they're stuck with Whole Foods.
Yeah. I think Amazon is also now a competitor of UPS and FedEx with all their trucks. They do all their own shipping, and that's why FedEx went down. They used to be a customer of FedEx. Without the Amazon trade, FedEx is hurting. And in fact, Amazon is becoming a freight company, delivery company like FedEx. They're into so much, Amazon. They're also, how about their movies and Amazon Prime and all of that? They got some.
Well, now that this was the thing. The Thursday night football is actually doing very, very well for them.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, the stock didn't really go up to reflect that news.
You got to think that this is a super buy down here, don't you?
Yeah, I know. So I mean, because once that sort of plays in a little bit,
and the chart, there's nothing wrong with the chart, other than the fact that it's at the lower end of its trading range. There's nothing. If it clearly goes below the trend line, you could worry. But right now, it's looking okay, despite the market weakness.
back up the truck.
So Dr. Spike, I think you were right that we're gonna recover on the third half of the year.
Yeah, the third half, like last time, right? That's what we were talking about.
How about Facebook, otherwise known as Meta?
Oh God!
Like I said, I wouldn't buy this with your money. I said it before, and I'll say it again.
Can you imagine all the gurus are picking this one? The chart looks god awful.
Yeah.
Their publicity has been terrible.
Right.
But what can you say?
How is your Roblox doing? In terms of the this play, it seems like Roblox is the one that was really taking advantage of the
virtual reality.
Yeah.
The metaverse.
The real Meta.
The real Meta.
With the stuff that you bought for your grandkids, is that all right, or is that?
It's not all right relative to the price I paid for it at that time. But
Okay. Well,
but what is?
That's a broken record. You can keep saying that over and over again.
But look where we are with Meta. The March 16th, 2020 lows, not the June 2022, not the June 2020, not the June lows that we just experienced, but the 2020 lows we're approaching. So this is really giving.
Yeah, it's getting there sooner, isn't it?
I think it's down about 50%, something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Off the highs. We could calculate it. It's 136, right? 136. The high was 384. 384 to 136.
A lot.
1/3.
Down about a third.
Two-thirds.
2/3.
Yeah.
Over 60%.
Mm-hmm.
This is a hit. But it's at some point it's a buy. It's not going out of business.
No, it's not.
So maybe this is the right place. It's testing the pandemic lows. What's this low? This is from 2018. What was it? 123. You got to go back to 2018. If it goes to 123, I'm buying. I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, because you're looking at a 5-year low.
Why wouldn't you see that as being the first of these companies that's going to finally get its comeuppance?
Because there's such name recognition. Instagram is still a powerhouse. Facebook is still pretty good.
There's still plenty of people who use Facebook. I mean, I'm on Facebook just for the community.
Yeah.
Where I live, there is like a community page.
I know you don't like it.
Every time I get off Facebook, I feel like I have to take a shower.
You don't like it because you don't like the policies, but not the business is still good, potentially good, and they're revolutionized. They're redoing their brand to become Meta, whatever. This may take a little while, but they'll probably prove successful. Let's take one look at Roblox. being that you mentioned it.
Yeah, only because, in terms of that play,
It's
because
not it's not a disaster. I picked some
and
up.
if you go back as long as you went back for Facebook, you'll see
I,
it's
I, besides buying it much higher, I also bought it at near the bottom. So
Oh, did you?
yeah, I paid 20 something. 21 was the low. I had to average out.
I must confess, all my stocks are red right now.
Yeah. Well, I think my only exception.
2075 and recent trading range, 20 to 50 would be the recent trading range on this one. So we're right in the middle, right?
Uh-huh.
Exactly in the middle of the trading range. They're doing very well considering this climate. I think they're probably a very good buy, Roblox.
Kids don't care.
Yeah.
Exactly. While you're suffering, you got to keep them occupied.
So we talked about all the big boys. Is there any request that anyone
You
else?
want to show Microsoft for me before we leave?
Sure.
Only because I'm thinking Microsoft's an exception to all this.
I think that's another big boy. It looks almost as bad as all the rest.
I don't know. Somehow I have this feeling that Microsoft is exempt from a lot of this other stuff, but I might be wrong.
Based on what? A get out of jail free card?
I don't know. Just even based on the fact that it's not making the news in the same kind of way. It's like quietly making money without anybody saying anything.
This is the major support would be down here at about 197, 196.
Wow.
That's major support. There's support along the way. This is a key level right about here. I think it's just below where it's trading, 223.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see it going all the way down to 196. What else is really taking it on the chin? Big tech. Adobe is another one, right?
Marijuana is taking it down the chin.
Well, Novavax. Not Novavax. I mean, the chip maker.
This one was NVIDIA. This one
Video,
was
right?
This one was 699. Wow. We're trading at 284. I mean, yeah, it's even worse. Even worse than Facebook, right? Terrible.
Adobe's never been a favorite. So it's always been the ugly sister in technology.
Well, it's very highly specialized. They have one product that dominates, and that's it. What do they call it? Adobe Premiere, Adobe
Right.
Dreammaker, all kinds of names on them. They're into all the tools for animation and all of that, right?
Right, for presentations, all the whole.
Yeah, all the movies, they all need Adobe. So this is another good one, probably, but maybe a little lower. I would probably look to pick this up at 255. Because what's to stop the downslide? You know what I mean? At this point, 255. If I wanted to buy this. Any other mega that you can think of that I left out?
You want to do NVIDIA since we talked about it?
Yeah, NVIDIA.
Google.
I forgot about Google. We can't do them all. But
Yeah, we could do them next week, right?
I'll stop.
Yeah, see, same thing here. Yeah, you've already seen it here.
Yeah. NVIDIA breaking below the 200 weekly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's ugly.
It really is. And this low can't be, it has to hold. 115. I believe that will hold. Let me draw that in.
Would have to. Because if it doesn't, the alternative is very
It has to hold. I think you're getting such bargains on the NVIDIAs, the Adobes, the Metas, the Apples, the Amazons, the Googles. the mega cap, I don't think the gurus are wrong that are all coming on CNBC and Bloomberg buy mega cap tech. They weren't saying that all along either. It's only recently they're saying that. Who can resist a bargain, you know?
If that line is a true support line, then there is more pain to come, I guess.
For NVIDIA,
Yeah.
very little pain. 115, 113, where is that low?
So again, it's most
One,
like
it's actually, Kamal, it's 115.67. Almost there. There's very little more pain.
I bought it multiple times. The highest I bought it was at 300.
If you own this one, I think it's a good time to add.
Yeah, no, I'm in this one too.
And if you don't own it, I think it's a good time to buy. With the understanding that it could go down more, but in the long run, this is a great company, and it'll be, you know, the gaming is not going away, and the large data centers are not going away, and graphic chips are not going away, and so on. They're going to be there for a long time. They were hit by a lot of craziness, and mostly supply chain problems, right? More than anything. All right, so that's it for today.
Yes, good show.
The bottom line
Good
is
show.
the bottom line is everything is on sale. That's the bottom line. So if you have money,
Go for it.
probably nibble.
Yeah.
All right, and what does Andrew say?
He said you mentioned Google in that whole class
Google, yeah.
of beaten down potential bargains,
Yeah.
but not this
Look,
week.
the sentiment from people that follow us closely is that it will turn. It's not going to go straight.
Well, you know, right.
Eventually, yes. We don't know when. Nobody knows. Adios, amigos. Ciao. Thanks for coming, everybody.